Hello and welcome to the Do Nothing Project. Before I say too much, I should just confirm that everyone can hear me loud and clear. Big thank you to Lauren holding it down in the blue font over in chat. And as you have probably figured out, I am not Jeff Warren. My name is Andrew Lenards, and I am guest hosting tonight, filling in for Jeff, which is always big shoes to fill. What is the Do Nothing Project? Or if you are, we've been graced with a ton of new folks that are coming in and have been joining for the first time recently. So I'm normally over in chat, one of the moderators, and a behind the scenes individual. Been part of the Do Nothing Project now for 2.5 years, maybe something like that, 2+ years. So this is in essence a place for us as a community to do very little together, and in doing that little together, kind of letting go and relaxing into what is for most of us the end of the weekend, and for Richard and some of our folks visiting us from tomorrow across the international date line in Australia and beyond, it is Monday. So a very happy start of your week if you're in that. So we always say keep the expectations low. This is as lo-fi experience as we can sort of hope for. And then as a whole, I'm always really happy to be part of the overall community of meditators. I have guest hosted a couple times. In case you don't know, I am a certified mindfulness meditation coach in the Unified Mindfulness System. So as a point of reference for how I look at practice, I look at practice really very closely to the way that Jeff looks at practice. So yeah. What we're going to do today, this has been kind of a somber weekend for me. And in that somberness, I've been finding a lot of solace in being still. And even before the weekend, I had kind of picked out stillness as the topic for what I would kind of try to guide a practice around. And I'm glad I did, because stillness is really what I've needed this weekend. And what I'll, as far as the theme is, I'm putting it as human stillness, or trying to accentuate the fallibility sort of side of being human into that sort of aspect. So we may not be completely still, but there's probably, as we sit, some part of us that is still, so we can find stillness in our sit, even if we're not feeling very still. So I'll guide a practice around that, and we'll do kind of a little, we'll see how it went for everyone at the end. I may have thoughts at the end that just hopefully will tie into this theme of stillness or human stillness, and then we'll kind of play it from, by ear from there. But yeah, so I have a bell. I think the audio is solid. I have, thanks to, as always, I always remember Jeff, I think it's Jeff Groves. I always remember Jeff Groves telling me to turn my phone on airplane mode, which I have done. So what we're going to do, again, if you haven't been here before, we're going to sit for 25 minutes. It'll be a very minimal practice. In this stillness practice, I'm going to lean more into that minimal quality. We'll finish with a 5-minute friendliness practice. And as always, if you're here for the community aspect and not as interested in sort of the sitting part of it, that's totally fine, and very much encouraged. There are folks that are here for the community and are always going to be following along with the sit. So you can always kind of let my guidance be in the background. And if you have a practice of your own, also welcome to do that. So I will invite the bell to signify our beginning. I don't think we have any questions, but I should pause. I'll pause for a moment in case we do. I think we're all set. you again to Lauren, and then it's great to see everyone checking in. Tina and Amy and Elise and Sandra, Fred, Angie. I haven't seen Brooke yet, but anyway, I'm clearly missing and not being able to cover everyone, but thank you so much. All right, let's begin. So to start out, I invite you to choose a posture that is supportive for you right now. So that posture could be sitting in a very sort of normal, stereotypical meditation posture, or that could be standing, lying down, sitting there. Whatever it is, let's just choose a posture for now and then see if it is supportive. And if you need to, you can always shift and change. And as we start out, I like to kind of go through a little bit of a mini checklist, starting with posture as we have. And then moving on to see if there's any tension. For me, I check to see if there's any tension in the forehead, around the eyes, maybe the jaw or the neck. As I check in on those locations, sometimes the tension will just melt away, and other times it will remain. And if it does, that's a no big deal attitude to our sit. If the tension wants to be here with us while we sit, it's totally fine. And then the last of my checklist is to do a few calming breaths, a way for us to prime the body as we begin to settle in. And I like to crib from the Beastie Boys here and highlight slow and low is the tempo that we're going for. So breathing in through the nose slowly allows us to breathe lower into the lungs, allowing the belly to expand. And then exhaling slow. Just 3 or maybe 4 breaths in through the nose, slowly out through the nose. Often when we do guidance on the Do Nothing Project, we talk about this being a waypoint beginning, just sort of sitting and knowing that you're sitting as being a waypoint. You can always come back to it. For tonight, this is our sit. So we can choose a few strategies. Sitting and knowing that you're sitting would be one. Another would be seeing if you can sort of hold the whole body in your awareness, and in doing so, notice where there's stillness, noticing where there's movement, and being okay with either. And finally, if whatever's alive for you right now is not supported by those two options, you could always choose a home base. Perhaps the sounds around you, the sound of a refrigerator or air blowing through a vent, or the gravity of the body sitting, or with one of those options or one of your own devising. I'll check in with you in a few minutes. Sitting, we can choose to use the posture as our object and check in with the posture. If you've not meditated with the posture before, then you might ask, well, what am I checking in about? It's a fair question. So when we're sitting and using the posture, we're looking to see if we're being rigid or we're stiffly trying to maintain the posture. And if we are, seeing if we can soften around that and let the posture be a bit more light, maybe even supple. In thinking about the human stillness quality, knowing that it's not perfect stillness. And then just noticing that we're going to have thoughts that pull us away or sounds that startle us, feelings that intrude on our chill, calm, still sit. Allowing those to be and acknowledging them, and then seeing if we can just let them be in the background. Keep going. So as we sit in these sort of containers with less to do, you may find that you spontaneously start noting your breaths or even counting them, or shift to whatever your go-to practice is. And that is totally okay. If anything, that is interesting information. So while we sit before our transition to the friendliness practice, if you want to go with whatever feels right, take that opportunity to continue to sit, be still. Your choice. So we'll shift now over to our friendliness practice. And in our friendliness practice, we're going to do a bit of a more traditional metta or loving kindness, where we'll offer a series of phrases. There'll be 3 of them. And we're offering these phrases as a way to stoke a warm-hearted sort of feeling. And if you don't feel the warm-hearted part, that's okay. Just in going through the phrases and the repetition, there's still an overall benefit. So I'll offer up the phrases that I have planned, and you're always welcome to use your own phrases or even shorten them. I'll offer a short version as well. So again, 3 phrases. I'm just picking someone, bringing to mind that you know and maybe is struggling or would benefit from some well wishes right now. May you find stillness. May you access peace. May you be healthy. May you find stillness. May you access, be healthy. And again, the repetition and at the you, just finding one that's pleasing. If you're not feeling as sort of into it or warm-hearted, you may opt to increase the speed of the phrases and use the phrases as more of a concentration object. May you find stillness. May you be healthy. Or stillness, peace, health. So go ahead and experiment with the phrases. And shifting to another person, bringing to mind someone from this community, from the Do Nothing community, that you would like to offer the phrases to. And again, repetition of the phrases can be short: stillness, peace, health. Slow and drawn out or fast, the full phrases like I offered. May you find stillness. May you know peace. May you be safe. You can always switch it up if it feels right. Explore the phrases with this new person you've picked. And the stillness thing is it's a good thing. Let's expand our wishes. Expand our wishes to the whole community or everyone who's viewing live or going to view, offering the phrases. May you find stillness. May you know peace. May you be safe. Continuing to offer the phrases to this wider group. And one more expansion. let's expand the phrases to the communities of everyone that's tuning in. From Tampa, Florida, to Melbourne, Australia, to Toronto, all points in between. Tucson, Arizona. May you find stillness. May you know peace. May you be safe. Continuing to offer the phrases. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in after the fact. I know there's a lot of folks that tune in to the recordings. A big thank you to Milan and Lily. And always, as always, to Jeff for entrusting in me to be a guest host. Thank you to all of you. So it looked like at some point there, my connection got unstable. So hopefully everything worked out for all of you as far as the internet works for that. You're very, very welcome. Susan, Melissa, Carol, Light, Audrey, Chris, you're very welcome. Holly, who's gone, but thank you for showing up. I'm glad you could include your friends, Amy. You're welcome, Leonardo, Mitch. I don't know if you noticed, but I have corrective lenses now, so I don't squint as much as I read chat. So it's a whole new world for me to be able to read chat and not squint. So thank you, Lauren. So yeah, the buffering on video there maybe led to a little bit of extra stillness. So yeah, so originally I had jokingly thought about contrasting human stillness with what I was jokingly calling or thinking about as Jurassic stillness. So for those that are old enough to, or well, not old enough, but I saw Jurassic Park in the theater, and I remember thinking, this idea of stillness being a very life and death thing in Jurassic Park. And so if the kids were still, they weren't seen. And I noticed that when I sit in stillness, I often sit that way, this sort of very rigid, very maintaining sort of way. And if I let that go, I can sit in a really nice sort of way. I don't know if supple's the right word, to be honest. I find that I sometimes use words wrong, but there's this kind of soft quality to it. So yeah. So anyway, that was something that was kind of alive for me, but not totally coming through in the guidance overall. But that kind of maintaining quality, I find that pops up in my practice often. So. All right. And then, as always, thank you for posting, Lauren. Some folks will ask about ways to support the Do Nothing Project. And our general recommendation, if you're feeling called for generosity, is to contribute to the Consciousness Explorers Club. So there's a link over in, I don't know if it's that way or that way. I never know. For me, it's that way right now. So if it's over there, you feel free to laugh. That's good. And you can go to cecmeditate.com/support-us, and you can see that's for the donations. Lots of training available for the CEC. The archives are there. You can always check out the archives. So the newsletter is really one of the highlights of when the month changes over, getting a chance to read the newsletter and sort of see what practice is out there. So big plugs for the CEC, again, in their 10th year. And a big thank you to Aaron, if Aaron happens to be here. Aaron was our guest host last week. I very much enjoyed being my inner puppy. So thank you to Aaron for that. So yeah, I don't know if I missed any questions. I think there was a question about support, and so we got that. Or I think that was it. So yeah, and for folks that need to log off, thank you again for joining live. Those tuning in after the fact, thank you again for your time and attention and practice. Very much appreciate that. So cool. Well, I am going to sign off and let everyone begin that preparation for the week to come. So yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, thank you for that, Mitch. Yeah, I'm... yeah, my video quality, my apologies. So when I said keep your expectations low and that we're lo-fi, I'm well aware that I see myself in a much better fidelity of video than you are seeing. So yeah, but I appreciate that. Excellent. Have a good one. To my knowledge, Jeff is back next week. So the 19th is our next time, and Jeff will be back next week.